Good morning, 你好. Welcome to Blockchain and the Lindy Chen channel. My name is Lindy Chen. I'm very excited to be here and share my insight about blockchain with you. Yesterday, I shared with you identifying intermediaries. Today, I will share with you relevance and the roles of intermediary and utilizing blockchain to facilitate this intermediation. Relevance and the roles of intermediaries. So, we have identified the likely intermediary involved in the transaction. Consider, the blockchain does not necessarily remove this middleman function, but rather provides a digital and strictly rule-following machine alternative to replace them, commonly referred to as disintermediation. If there is already a trusted intermediary, there may not be much to be gained by creating a network that looks exactly the same but with replacing the intermediary, as the intermediary often does more than just pass data. So, we need to analyze their relevance and develop a case for disintermediation. A simple matrix is a good tool to map intermediary roles and relevance as a first step. Intermediary evaluation matrix. At a minimum, include this section in your evaluation matrix. Intermediary, the identified intermediary roles. What roles do they perform in the transaction that must be performed to reach the outcome? Other roles. What other roles does this intermediary perform that are not critical to the successful completion of the transaction? You will need to assess whether these activities add enough value to be considered for disintermediation. Relevance. The primary role of disintermediation is the automation of intermediary functions between peers with the ability to do this securely, quickly, and with immutable trust. Simply note whether a role function is or is not to be included in the disintermediation. You may consider adding fields to your matrix that consider interoperability with other blockchain networks or off-chain service, such as data oracles. This is really subject to the complexity of identified intermediary roles. Utilizing blockchain to facilitate this intermediation. When you think about a distributed peer-to-peer system, it is important not to think about what intermediary to replace, but rather what processes between the various stakeholders would benefit from a shared, trusted system to exchange information and complete the transaction. One of blockchain's primary role is the automation of intermediary function between peers, with the ability to do this secretly, quickly, and with immutable trust, and doing so provide a catalyst for further automation of interaction between peers. Consider, replacing the middleman through disintermediation can often be considered a serious threat to many businesses and organizations that primarily act as an intermediary in transaction between stakeholders such as buyers and sellers, borrowers and lenders, producers and consumers. These intermediaries are vulnerable to be replaced through disintermediation, and you will need to consider the value that they bring to any transaction and how they can transaction to be part of the disintermediation rather than being replaced by it. Why is the case for disintermediation so compelling? Notwithstanding the advantages of using a peer-to-peer decentralized network facilitated by blockchain, consider the following benefits of disintermediation. Ownership of own data. Through control mechanism, the opportunity to decide what data to share in the ledger as well as the capacity to choose who else can see the data. Control of own data. A distributed ledger using blockchain is an integrated technology which is able to keep the final and immutable record of all transactions in a database that is distributed across a series of computer systems in a network, rather than held in a centralized location, thereby providing some control over reputation. Efficiency. Through different software algorithms, which have a strong potential to reduce or remove intermediation costs, reshape value chain, and decentralize ways of organization in a trustworthy way. Improvement of product and services. The technology aims at facilitating more secure and transparent transactions, which in turn holds a strong potential to improve products, processes, and services by increasing the efficiency of value chain and their organization. Automation. The technology has a strong potential to support new products and services by disrupting value chain, eliminating intermediary, and automate transaction. Encryption. That enables transparency and mutual trust, automation, and an ability to agree on contracts without intermediary in a trustworthy way. From myself, the team at China Direct Sourcing, the team at Freezen Technology, and the team at Blockchain Collective, thank you for watching this video series. If you like what you see and hear and want to know more about it, please subscribe our channel and contact us. Good luck with your blockchain learning journey. Enjoy the program.